Hey, what's going on, guys? I want to talk to you today about a past experience. Flashback, summer of 2017. In fact, it's around April to May. The entire spring leading up to that summer of 2017, I'm 20 years old at the time, and my dad and I, we were in talks searching to find myself a new car. At the time, we had a low budget. We were looking for a very affordable car that functionally performed up to par. It was good, except that needed minor fixes like appearance, maybe a few maintenance things, but nothing serious. We ended up finding this Mazda 6, and I'll put the picture right here. It was a metallic copper looking Mazda 6 from 2005. And this car was $2,000. After looking at the car, the pictures it had a beat up bumper, it had rusting. So we paid it a visit, and this car was probably somewhere around 70 to 100 miles away, I don't know. But we went, so road trip, we go, get to the dealer, I sit myself on that car. And first of all, before even sitting, entering the dealership with the mindset of I might walk out with a car was absurd to me, especially growing up the way I did, where this is definitely not no average experience. I'll never forget that feeling when I sat down and it's in the parking lot and the worker told me to roll the car up out of the parking spot. And at this time also, I had no license, all right? Because the plan was that after we get the car, I get the license shortly after. So this Mazda, it looked amazing. However, we noticed a big problem with this car. And by the way, the description of this car was as is, runs okay, turns on, it runs, operates fine, but it's as is, meaning they don't know what else is wrong with the car. They haven't looked into it much. Yeah, $2,000. The price is negotiable. So we were looking to pitch $1,300 around there. And surely enough, negotiating, the guy was willing to do it. He knocked off a few $100s, but he wouldn't go under $1,500. For the condition of this car, once we got in and I pulled that car forward, my dad drove it around the parking lot of the dealership. And while he was changing gears, I'm in the shotgun seat. We noticed that the gears are knocking really hard. So it's shifting really rough. And my dad told me that had to do with a motor mount and a part that needed to be fixed, basically. It was affordable, it wasn't a problem, but we didn't know what else was wrong with the car. So anyways, this was not the car. Fast forward a month later, we found the same car, but this one was a 2003 instead of a 2005. And here's where the fun actually began. This dealership was way down somewhere in New Jersey, 111 miles away about. We went. This car, I'll plug the images here. The conditions were very similar. This car had black tints. It had a nice clean white paint. The gloss on it was awesome. It had rust as well near the tires. I don't think I have a picture of that, but it was really nice. And the dealer was asking for $995 for a car. And I actually got a video of it in the dealer. Just looking at the back of that car, it excites me. I remember how that looked. I remember the feeling I had. There's rust on top of the car wheel right there. And there they had screws because the mirror was broken. The entire side piece was broken, it had to be replaced. It's definitely something you could use to your advantage while negotiating. One of the lights were jacked up, fogged. We had to defog. But that's, again, something you could use to your advantage if the car just works. So yeah, we're just scoping it out. I remember saying to my brother, yeah, $60, don't worry about it, bro. You know, it'll be fine. There is the headliner, wrecked. And I found out that this car has that problem. The older models of this car, their headliner just rots very quickly because it was made out of a cheap material or they didn't put enough adhesive, I don't know. My dad is a master in finding the flaws of a car to use it to your advantage for negotiation. We give this whole vibe of like, why is this broken? I guess we're gonna have to offer less money. The dealer was asking for $995. So we agreed that, how about we do $1,200 max, including taxes and signing fee and everything. The car dealer was like, yeah, all right. And we got it. We got the freaking car. I remember all the paper and the processing, calling the insurance, because there's a lot that goes into buying a car, which I love the fact that I got to experience this firsthand. I remember sitting in this car, knowing that the car was ours and being in shock, but very quiet, like just trying to hold it in because I'm trying to process everything. I can't believe this freaking crap. As I told you before, this car was as is. About 4 miles into the ride, probably 3, it wasn't sounding healthy. We kept going. We're saying, yeah, let's see how it feels on the road. Like, just give it a few miles. It probably was sitting in the lot for a long time, and let's see how it warms up and runs. this thing started breaking down. It started to overheat, and we later found out that the cooling system, the radiator, everything was probably clogged. We was under the impression that this car was running fine. It's just that it needed these aesthetic and maybe a few minor performance tweaks. Fast forward, the car is going, and it turns off. I don't remember when the first time it did, but it did several times.
Car's overheating.
Yeah. Me being optimistic despite the circumstance. We made it home with that car. I got to drive it the entire way. I had trouble sleeping just thinking about the car. This car was in bad condition, and I think we definitely worsened it by riding it when it wasn't in its 100% condition to be ridden, especially for 100 miles. So what we did was we ended up calling the dealer back and saying, hey, look, this car turned off on us so many times, and we were under the impression that it ran fine. It just had a few performance things to fix, nothing major. We obviously made it worse. But luckily, the dealer we got and the guy, how good of a person he was, he said, listen man, send the car back to us and we'll take care of it. So we did just that. I think I had the car for 2 days or 3. On the way back, this car, it did not make it. I remember something busting under. I think the muffler, I hit a pothole or I hit something that quickly knocked that bottom right off. And my dad takes a metal hanger wire. He gets under the car and bends the wire around the muffler to keep it in place. It worked. So we kept going with a wired on muffler on the car. I felt so bad. I felt so stressed because like my dad financially put himself through this. I was just relieved that we were getting our refund back. We did not make it. This car turned off on us. We ended up on the side of a New Jersey highway. So we lost money because of towing the car, but it's better than losing all your money. But just to know that that happened is like a cherished memory I have, and I'm very thankful for that moment. So 2 things to learn from this situation. Live in the moment. Be grateful for the blessings that come towards your life because they can go. Not all blessings are forever. Some are temporary. Some are to teach you a lesson. Some are for the experience. Another thing is I really need to record my life events more. I just wish I got more footage. There's this problem I commonly come across. Do I live in the present moment, grasp all of that and be entirely focused in the moment? Or am I half present and instead I have it in recording? But as you know, it's not the same in recording compared to real life. And that was my experience of the first time buying a car and how it went. It's definitely something I'm grateful for. And I will always look back to that moment and be thankful. Thanks so much for watching, guys. And as always, never end on negative. See you soon.